On the peaceful island of Jeju, an elderly woman lives each day in quiet sorrow. Years ago, her beloved granddaughter went missing, and since then, her world has never been the same. Every morning, she wakes with one silent wish: to see her again. Then, one day, the impossible happens. The girl returns. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Screenville. Today, we explore a film that will break your heart and slowly put it back together. This is the story of a movie called Canola. This sweet little girl is named Heiji, and this elderly woman beside her is Heiji's grandmother. She works as a henyo, a traditional sea diver. These women dive deep into the ocean to gather seaweed, shellfish, and other things from the seafloor. Heiji lives with her grandmother on Jeju Island. Her father has passed away, and her mother remarried someone else. But Heiji doesn't feel sad. She's happy with her grandmother, who takes care of her lovingly. They are inseparable. One day, her grandmother buys her a box of colored pencils. From that day on, Heiji starts drawing all over the house. They even have a pig named Toa. One afternoon, Heiji suddenly asks her grandmother, "Grandma, which is bigger, the sky or the sea?" Her grandmother replies, "The sea is bigger." "Have you seen the end of either one?" Heiji asks. Her grandmother gently says, "Even if I haven't seen it, I know. When you grow up, you'll understand too." That night, Heiji begins drawing a picture of her grandmother using her new colored pencils. But before she can finish coloring the hair, her grandmother tells her to sleep early. They're going to a wedding in the city the next morning. Heiji puts the colored pencils in her bag and goes to sleep beside her grandma. The next day, on their way to the wedding, they stop at a market to shop. While the grandmother is picking out things for Heiji, she suddenly realizes Heiji is gone. She searches everywhere, but she can't find her. Losing her granddaughter breaks her heart. 12 years pass. Heiji is now a teenager. She hangs out with a girl named Min-hee, and they visit a makeup store together. Min-hee steals a lot of makeup from the shop. Both girls live together without any guardians. Min-hee is obsessed with beauty and makeup, while Heiji has no interest in that world. She prefers to use lipstick for drawing instead. Two boys, their so-called friends, show up. They bring food and get the girls to do work in return. This time, the boys ask Min-hee to pretend to be a prostitute and meet with a man in a hotel room. They promise she doesn't have to do anything, just act the part. But Min-hee is terrified, so Heiji goes in her place. When the man is alone with her, the two boys enter the room and begin blackmailing him for money. The man resists. A struggle breaks out. Accidentally, the man hits his head on a piece of furniture and collapses, bleeding from the head. He might even be dead. Terrified, the group runs away from the hotel and leaves the city behind. Now homeless, they sleep on the streets. Min-hee brings back some food. While eating, they see a missing child's photo printed on a food package. It's Heiji. Even after 12 years, her grandmother is still looking for her. Meanwhile, back in Jeju Island, her grandmother continues living alone. She hasn't stopped searching for the granddaughter she lost all those years ago. A real estate broker keeps pressuring her to sell the house, but she refuses every time. This home is full of memories and hope. She believes that one day Heiji will return. Their kind neighbor Suk-ho visits. He loved Heiji like his own daughter. He gently suggests that maybe it's time to sell the house, to stop suffering and live the rest of her life in peace. But the grandmother firmly says no. She won't leave. Not yet. Not until Heiji comes home. And then, the phone rings. It's the police. They've found Heiji, and the grandmother's heart lights up again. Afterward, Suk-ho and his wife Myung take the grandmother to the police station. The police reveal that when Heiji went missing, it was actually her mother who had kidnapped her. Later, her mother died in a car accident, and her stepfather left Heiji at an orphanage. The police complete all the formalities and take samples for a DNA test. Now, after a long 12 years, the grandmother finally sees Heiji again. Her heart fills with both joy and sorrow, tears streaming down. She asks why Heiji never came back all this time. Heiji explains that her mother had told her the grandmother was dead, so she never returned. But now that she has found her grandmother, she is very happy. In celebration of Heiji's return, the whole family hosts a joyful gathering at their home. Heiji goes to her room and looks at all the drawings she made as a child. Then she takes out the box of colored pencils, the very same set she lost so long ago. Her grandmother notices and says, "You still have this?" On that day at the market, She had wanted to buy many nice things for Heiji, and in her happiness, she didn't realize when she let go of her granddaughter's hand. But from this day forward, they will no longer suffer. Together, they will spend their days happily. That night, everyone has a wonderful time together. After so many years, happiness has finally returned to the old grandmother's life. However, Heiji still feels out of place. The next morning, her grandmother takes her to the market again, buying many clothes, a school dress and a hair clip. But Heiji does not feel comfortable here. From a telephone booth, she calls Min-hee. Min-hee tells her that the man in the hotel didn't die, but the hotel authorities are demanding a large fine. Their two friends are trying their best to blame Heiji for everything. Hearing this, Heiji becomes very worried. Then, she meets a local boy named Han. When he approaches her to talk, she asks, "Do you know me?" Han replies, "Everyone in this village knows you." He rides her on his bicycle and takes her to his home. There, they talk and get to know each other. The next day, Heiji goes to school, and Han sits beside her. Meanwhile, her grandmother asks Min-young to find out who the art teacher at Heiji's school is. She wants to make her granddaughter an artist because Heiji has loved drawing since she was a child. At school, the art teacher doesn't give a specific topic for the class's drawing. He tells the students to draw whatever they want. While all the students start drawing, Heiji remains blank. The teacher approaches and says, "You can draw whatever you want." But Heiji throws down her pencil and says, "Nothing is coming to my mind. Are you going to ask me to leave the class?" The teacher replies firmly that until Heiji draws something, she must stay seated in the classroom. All the other students finish their drawings and leave, but Heiji is still sitting there with a blank canvas. She has no desire to draw with pencils at all. The teacher says, "You're really stubborn. Go home then." Angrily, Heiji gets up and leaves, but as she steps out, her pencil bag falls, revealing her lipstick. She breaks the lipstick and starts drawing with it instead. Night falls. The teacher asks, "You haven't gone home yet? What are you still doing here?" "I finished my drawing." Feeling upset, Heiji leaves. The teacher notices the amazing picture Heiji made using lipstick and coal. It is late at night, and the grandmother is very worried. When Heiji arrives home, her grandmother says, "Come, let's eat." As they sit down to eat, the grandmother lovingly feeds Heiji her own special steamed rice dish. Though hesitant at first, Heiji eventually eats it. The next day, the art teacher calls Heiji to the school garden to draw. He asks Heiji to sketch a statue there. Heiji, excited, takes out her box of colors, but the teacher tells her to use a pencil instead. Heiji enjoys painting with colors, not sketching with pencils. It doesn't feel the same to her. Meanwhile, her grandmother speaks with Min-young about Heiji. Since her return, the grandmother has noticed that Heiji is struggling to adjust. She seems uncomfortable with the old house, the outdated bathroom, and everything around her. That's why the grandmother begins thinking about moving into a modern apartment for Heiji's sake. Later that day, Heiji finds a painting book at home by the art teacher. She starts appreciating the teacher's work more and more. Seeing her granddaughter interested in learning, the grandmother is overjoyed. She calls the real estate broker, the house she has protected and refused to sell for so many years. She's finally ready to let it go. Without any hesitation, she signs the papers to sell it, all so she can move into a better home with Heiji. At school, the art teacher also becomes determined to help Heiji grow as an artist. One day, he tells her something special. "Heiji, you always focus on shadows in your work. But remember, great artists focus on the light, not just the shadows." After school, Han takes Heiji to a peaceful green spot. He plays music for her on a small speaker, trying to cheer her up. Suddenly, Han's phone rings. Heiji stares at it. Han asks, "Do you want to call someone?" Heiji nods and calls Min-hee. But before Min-hee can speak, the two boys grab the phone. They threaten Heiji, saying that if she doesn't send them money soon, things will go badly for Min-hee. Worried, Heiji begins to panic. One day, Heiji tells the art teacher she no longer wants to draw. She doesn't want to be part of any of this anymore. The teacher quietly opens a cabinet and brings out everything Heiji's grandmother had given to support her. He says, "I know your life hasn't been easy, but look at your grandmother. She's doing everything she can to give you a better life. Can't you at least try for her?" Realizing just how much her grandmother is sacrificing for her, Heiji becomes emotional. That day, the village is celebrating a sea god festival. Everyone, including the grandmother, is busy with the rituals. Taking this chance, Heiji sneaks into her grandmother's room to steal money from the wardrobe. At the same moment, her grandmother is praying to the sea god for Heiji's happiness. She wishes for her to become a great artist, to live a joyful life. Heiji takes the bank book and heads to the bank to withdraw money. But at the last moment, she hesitates and doesn't go through with it. Back at home, when the grandmother can't find the money, she calls the police. But Myung reminds her, "You lent that money to a neighbor last month. Don't you remember?" The grandmother had completely forgotten. Feeling guilty, Heiji quietly returns the bank book to the wardrobe. But Suk-ho sees her doing it. He suspects something, and when he mentions it to the grandmother, she refuses to believe it. Later, grandmother finds Heiji smoking. When she tries to hide it, the grandmother approaches and says, "Give me one too." Sitting beside her, the grandmother lights the cigarette and asks, "Tell me, what's bigger, the sea or the sky?" Heiji replies, "The sky, of course." The grandmother smiles and says, "You've grown up." Then she adds softly, "No matter how hard life gets, if someone is by your side, it becomes easier to live. So live your life the way you want. I will always be here for you. I'll take care of everything else." The next day, Heiji sees her grandmother working under the sun. She gently applies sunscreen to her grandmother's face, taking care of her with love. The grandmother feels deeply happy, receiving this small gesture of affection from her granddaughter. Meanwhile, the art teacher is still working tirelessly to help Heiji grow as an artist. And Heiji, in return, takes care of her teacher too. She now wants to live as a better person. One day, she asks her grandmother if she can dive with her in the sea, but the grandmother refuses. She doesn't want Heiji to become a diver like her. Still, just to give her the experience, she brings all the diving gear, oxygen tanks and safety equipment, and takes her into the water. There, holding Heiji's hand, she shows her the breathtaking beauty of the ocean floor. That day, Heiji brings a new drawing to show her teacher. It's a portrait of her grandmother. The teacher is amazed, completely stunned by how beautifully Heiji has drawn it. He immediately submits it to an upcoming art contest in Seoul. After school, as Heiji is walking home with Han, a man suddenly calls out to her. The moment she sees him, her face changes. She quickly sends Han away and confronts the man, asking what he's doing there and how he found her. The man is her stepfather, the same one who abandoned her at the orphanage after her mother died. He's come now to ask for money. When Heiji refuses, he threatens to go to her grandmother, but she firmly tells him not to. She says she'll find the money herself, just don't go near her grandmother. That night, Heiji shows the drawing to her grandmother. She's overwhelmed with pride and joy, seeing the love and talent in her granddaughter's work. Later that night, Heiji breaks down in tears. She pulls out the unfinished childhood sketch she once drew of her grandmother, and finally completes it. The next day, Heiji travels to Seoul with her teacher for the art contest. But before going to the venue, she secretly meets her stepfather and gives him money, the same money she had stolen from her grandmother. She tells him to leave her life forever. Then she goes to the contest. But once it ends, her teacher notices. Heiji is gone. In a letter she left behind, she wrote, "Teacher, I've named this drawing Confession. Even now, I still prefer the darkness. The light is not meant for me. So I'm leaving. Please, take care of my grandmother." Meanwhile, Suk-ho arrives at the grandmother's house with the DNA report. According to the results, Heiji is not her biological granddaughter, but the grandmother refuses to believe it. With pain buried deep in her heart, she tells Suk-ho, "I don't accept this." She asks him to leave. Elsewhere, Han feels increasingly uneasy. He keeps thinking about everything and finally decides to call the number Heiji once dialed from his phone. That's how he ends up speaking to Min-hee. Later that night, Heiji meets Min-hee in person. But the two boys show up as well, pressuring her for money. When she can't pay, they begin to beat her. But just then, Han arrives, with the police. It turns out Han had learned everything from Min-hee and brought help just in time. Heiji is taken into custody. Her grandmother rushes to her. With tears in her eyes, she asks, "Are you really not my Heiji? Everyone says you're not, but they're lying, right? You're still my Heiji, aren't you?" And now we finally learn the heartbreaking truth. This girl is not the real Heiji. The police also bring in her father, and the full story is revealed. Years ago, Heiji was taken from the market by her mother. At that time, her mother had another daughter with her second husband, a girl named Yoon. Heiji would cry constantly, begging to return to her grandmother. One day, while in the car, Heiji's mother and her husband were arguing fiercely about why she had brought Heiji back, the financial burden, and more. And then an accident happened. In that crash, both Heiji and her mother died. The stepfather survived, along with his own biological daughter, Yoon. At the hospital, a representative from the insurance company came and informed them that there was a life insurance policy under Yoon's name. Driven by greed, the stepfather did something unthinkable. He declared Heiji's body as Yoon's and claimed the insurance money. He threatened young Yoon into silence. And from that day forward, even though Yoon was alive, she was declared legally dead. She was forced to live under a stolen identity as Heiji. Heiji's grandmother weeps bitterly at her real granddaughter's grave. Even after all these years, the joy of getting her back was short-lived. And now, knowing the truth, it's been taken from her again. As for Yoon, she is sentenced to 1 year in prison for hiding her identity and stealing money from the grandmother's house. While in jail, she constantly thinks about Heiji, the real one. How much love Heiji must have received from her grandmother. She remembers how Heiji had once gifted her that beloved colored pencil. All around her, she sees what she has lost. Meanwhile, the grandmother is completely shattered. In her mind, she still hears the voice of little Heiji calling her. One day, the art teacher visits her and says, "Heiji won the soul art contest. I've brought her painting for you." The grandmother doesn't want to accept it, but the teacher gently insists, "Heiji learned to paint with light because of you. This is your painting. Please, take a look." The grandmother opens the painting and breaks down into tears. The painting is titled Confession. It shows the grandmother under the sea, holding the hands of two girls. One is the real Heiji, and the other is Yoon. They are floating together toward the light. Though Yoon wasn't her real granddaughter, she saw the grandmother as her own. She had given her a place in her heart. The grandmother weeps deeply. 12 years ago, she lost a granddaughter, and now, after finding a new one, she's lost her too. A year passes. Yoon is released from prison. She now works at a store. One day, Suk-ho comes to see her. He tells her that the grandmother had fallen ill and was moved to a nursing home. But one day, she left, and no one knows where she went. Yoon goes to the grandmother's room at the care home. She sees the walls filled with all of Heiji's drawings, carefully kept. There, she also finds the old missing child poster, the one from when the real Heiji disappeared. She suddenly understands where the grandmother must have gone. Yoon rushes to the same marketplace, the place where the real Heiji went missing all those years ago. After searching everywhere, she finally finds her grandmother wandering like a lost soul, almost in a state of dementia. She has forgotten everything. Yet as she sees Yoon, she gently strokes her hair and looks at her silently, believing with all her heart that she is her Heiji. Suk-ho visits the real estate broker. He pleads with him to let them stay in the house the grandmother had once sold. He even offers to pay rent. The broker initially refuses, but seeing Suk-ho's tears, he finally agrees. 12 years ago, everyone had decorated the house in hopes that Heiji would return. Now, everyone is once again working together, not for a welcome party, but to renovate the old house. Because today, her grandmother is finally coming home. They even bring back the pig they once named Toa. And now, Yoon, who had once lived as Heiji, arrives home with her grandmother. Together, they begin to live their days in happiness, filling the house with warmth once again. On a chilly winter morning, Yoon paints a picture of her grandmother. The old woman walks up to her and gently dabs yellow paint on her cheek. They both burst into laughter, like they've returned to their childhoods. Now, Yoon takes care of her grandmother in every way possible. One day, sitting by the sea, the grandmother softly says, "The sky rests upon the ocean's heart." Hearing this, Yoon realizes something profound. It's not the sky, but the ocean that is truly greater. Because the ocean can hold the reflection of the sky within it, but the sky cannot hold the ocean. That night, after tucking her grandmother into bed, Yoon finds an old tape recorder. She presses play and hears something that shakes her soul. A message her grandmother had recorded for her while she was in prison. On the recording, her grandmother says, "Heiji, I'll keep calling you that. I've known for a long time that you're not really my Heiji. The moment you said the sky was bigger, I understood. My Heiji would have said the ocean. But even after knowing this, I couldn't admit it. Because you've become my granddaughter too. You are mine, Yoon, and you must live as an artist. I've lived a hard life as a diver. But in the end, I found you, Soon I will die. But believe me, I don't want to leave you. I never want to leave you." Listening to her grandmother's voice, Yoon breaks down in tears. "Please forgive me, Grandma," she sobs. "I'm so sorry. Please forgive me." Another season passes. Her grandmother is now in the hospital. She always loved flowers. So Yoon fills the hospital walls with paintings of canola flowers. Her grandmother smiles and says, "These canola blossoms, they're the most beautiful flowers I've ever seen." Then, out of nowhere, she gently holds Yoon's hand and softly calls her by name. Yoon. It's the first time she's ever said it aloud. "Yoon, my time has come. Hae-ji has been waiting for me." Yoon, eyes filled with tears, asks, "Then what will happen to me?" Her grandmother replies, "You must live, Yoon. Live a full and beautiful life. Thank you for becoming my granddaughter. I will never forget you, not even in the afterlife." And with those final words, the grandmother passes away peacefully. Yoon, now truly Hae-ji, holds her tightly, crying, "Goodbye, Grandma. I promise I will live a beautiful life, just like you wanted." In the final scene, we see the grandmother once again. She's happily running through a field of canola flowers, holding hands with her little granddaughter. Now, they are together forever. And then we see Yoon, a grown woman, a successful artist. She's opened her own art gallery. Her paintings are displayed with pride. All her neighbors, her teacher, everyone is proud of who she's become. And that's where the story ends. Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, please like, comment, and share. Subscribe to Screenville for more heartfelt tales. See you next time.